Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Charles in Charge Cowboy Sports Report. It's about 6:50 p.m. Central Time, my time, March 15th, the first day of the new league year. Today was a busy day. We did not re-sign or acquire anybody today, but we had three players that we dealt with. Saved approximately, it's hard to say, but around $22 million more in cap space. We restructured Tank Lawrence's contract again, and we restructured Ty Smith's contract again, like Forrest, right? And we outright cut Zeke Elliott. Cutting Zeke Elliott and restructuring those two contracts. Per Mike Fisher, not knowing the exact amount, but approximately $22 million we saved in cap space today. Now, I knew we were going to either restructure Elliott's contract or outright release him. I think we will re-sign him at a very, very, low price. Elliott's a Cowboy for life. He's the third leading rusher in franchise history behind Emmett and Dorsett. I can't see Zeke playing anywhere else. Just like, Emmett going to Arizona, he regrets doing that. Not saying Zeke is Emmett. He won't have that longevity. But I think here in the next week that we will bring 21 back on a much cheaper deal, like between 3 to 5 million. Probably a 1 year deal, 1 or 2 year deal. It won't be a long term deal, of course. 3 to 5 million in a 1 or 2 year deal. I put that in writing. I guarantee you, Zeke is not gone. He is just released temporarily. They're probably gonna let him go out there and taste the market and see what kind of offers he's getting, and offers that he receives will not be high. And he would probably rather just take the same amount of money other teams are offering him here and just stay here at his home, knowing that we're on the cusp of going all the way. Zeke ain't going nowhere. We're still going to have 20 and 21 in the backfield in this 2023 season. So, when we extended Dak and restructured Martin's contract, we freed up $30 million in cap space. $30 million. When we messed with Michael Gallup's deal, we freed up an extra $7 million. It's 37. And what we did today freed up approximately $22 million. 37, 47, 57, almost $60 million we have freed up. We resigned Wilson and LVE yesterday. Donovan Wilson's deal's a 3-year deal. I forgot the figures on that, but he's making pretty good money. Leighton Vander Esch's deal was perfect. 2 years, $11 million. That's the exact same contract that David Long Jr. gave wherever the hell he went. I think Tennessee or whatnot. That's 5.5 annually, but I think, the first and second year on Wolf Hunter's contract will be different on what he gets paid, but 2 years, $11 million is pretty damn good. Because the high end, that's the low end of the linebacker market. The high end would be 9, 10, 11 million. Wagner is better, but he's older. And I'd much rather have Leighton Vander Esch at half the price. And, I mean, hell, whenever he's on his game and he's healthy and he's 2018 Wolf Hunter, he's not that far away from Bobby Wagner. 55 can play ball. I think whenever Jalen Smith, after 2018, when Jalen Smith started going downhill, that affected Vander Esch's play. And that neck injury. Now that he's been healthy last year and the year before, 21 and 22, he's looked pretty good. And if we get this defensive tackle situation taken care of, our front four will be a fearsome foursome like San Fran has, and that'll allow Leighton Vander Esch to run free sideline to sideline just like Fred Warner. LVE and Damone Clark, since we play nickel, big nickel majority of the time, will be the two linebackers on the field. And I think Damone Clark is really going to bust out of his shell this year. He was not supposed to play last year. Very surprised. Everybody was surprised that, he came back from injury to play with a full NFL offseason. He was great at LSU. He wore that certain number at LSU. Forgot the number, but, they say they only give it to very few players, special players. Damone Clark is going to be a monster as he develops. So we strengthened our strength on defense and trading for Stephon Gilmore. 5th round compensatory pick. We got that pick from Connor Williams. Losing Connor Williams to Miami last year got us that 5th round compensatory pick. And we used that to get Gilmore. And it's probably a 1-year deal because you only got 1-year deal left on his contract. Maybe we mess with his contract and add another year to it. Wouldn't mind having him here for 2 years. He's 32, going on 33. Last season, PFF ranked him the 9th best corner in the league. So he doesn't have the athletic skills that he had when he was 24. But the man can still play corner really well. And he's real physical. And Trayvon Diggs, who didn't get targeted a lot last season, will get targeted more this season. And we'll see if he can hold down a receiver all game. Last year, it was easier for him because they were just picking on the other side. Anthony Brown, and then when Brown was out, it was open season on the other side. So we'll see what if Diggs can. I mean, we know he can take the ball away. He's got great ball skills, but we'll see if he can really, really shut down a receiver for 60 minutes like Gilmore can. And with this money that we're freeing up, I believe it is going to be to extend CeeDee Lamb and Trayvon Diggs because they are both up for extension. People are forgetting about that. People are forgetting about extending those two guys right now. You don't want to not sign them, have CeeDee Lamb go off this year with 130 catches, 1,500 yards, 15 tubs, then his price double. Or Diggs have another 11 interception season and play shutdown at the same time, getting 11 picks, and his price double. Extend them both this offseason. We are getting stronger. Now we have strengthened our strength, which is defense. Shannon Sharp made a good point today, talking about our head in the sand, and we need to address the offense because the defense was great last year. In the playoffs, he allowed 14 and 19, and we lost in the second round, allowing 19 points. So the defense is getting better. So Shannon Sharp said, y'all lost 12 to 19 against San Fran. So this season, y'all gonna lose 7 to 10. Something like that. What we need to do, as we know, is get that other receiver. We need speed. I mean, Hopkins is the biggest name right now. If Michael Gallup, with his second year coming off that ACL, can get his speed back, he could take the top off of defense. He was our deep threat. If we get Hopkins, we really can't complain. I know he's had injury-riddled seasons the last 2 years. But if he can stay healthy, his catch radius is amazing. He's not that fast, but he gets great separation, and he can move the chains. And we should keep T.Y. Hilton for another year. Because even at 34 years old, he can still make those 2 to 3 big catches a game that we need. And maybe get the speed guy in the draft, or Kavontae Turpin, work him into the offense this year because we got him from the USFL last year. He had absolutely no break. He played the full season USFL and then came to Dallas, played a full NFL season. Now he's had time to rest, a full off season. Expect Kavontae Turpin to have even more burst this season because he's actually getting rest now. And maybe go get Cedric Wilson back because Miami has no use for him, and he's not worth $7 million a year. He's worth maybe 3 or 4. And if we can get him back at a lower cap hit, trade Miami, give him a day 3 pick. I think that'd be great because him and Dak had great chemistry, and he was very, very good in the slot. I really want to get that left guard in the draft because, like I said, if we do that in the first round, if we can get John Smith or Cyrus Torrance, that rebuilds the offensive line. We don't have to worry about anybody else for probably another 4 years until Zach Martin is over the hill. And I think Zach Martin is going to be elite for as long as Jason Kelsey has been. Jason Kelsey plays center, Zach Martin plays right guard, and they've both been in tremendous health their careers. Zach Martin is 32, and I believe he will be playing at his level of play till he's 36, 37. If we draft that left guard at pick 26, we're going back to maybe 2014 offensive line, where they were all young and good. And you had 3 future Hall of Famers on the offensive line. You didn't know it then, but you did. Well, Travis Frederick would have been, but he didn't play long enough. So this offensive line, you got 2. So still take them, even if they put Ty Smith at left tackle and Tyler at left guard, still get that offensive guard in the first round. Because Ty Smith is going to go down at some point this season, and they're going to kick Tyler Smith back out to left tackle. And then that's when we're going to plug in our first round pick guard where he belongs. Round 2, I say defensive tackle. This draft is full of running backs and defensive tackles. Pardon me 1 second. Children, I'm doing a video like I told y'all. Please be quiet. Go watch TV. When I'm done, I'll tell you when I'm done. A 5 and 7-year-old on spring break. Oh my gosh, their energy is out this roof. So get that guard. Get that receiver. The Texans signed Noah Brown, signed Robert Woods. Brandon Cooks is there. D'Amico Ryans just took over as head coach. It's where he played. It's where he dominated as linebacker. I think the Texans have to do a complete rebuild. And in that case, Brandon Cooks should be tradable. I'd give a 2nd-round pick and Jalen Tolbert for Brandon Cooks. He would be perfect complement for Lamb and Gallup. That's who I want personally because he's got the speed to take the top off of defense. And if Gallup is the Gallup that we know this year and is 100% off that ACL tear, he can also take the top off of defense. And you got Cooks and Gallup on the outside and Lamb on the inside in the slot. That'll give secondaries nightmares. And if we can bring in a Calais Campbell, re-sign Hankins, and get one more good defensive tackle that can stop the run, our defense, even with San Fran signing Javon Hargrave, could be the best defense in the league this year. If Forget that left guard. That's better than Connor Williams was and Connor McGovern is. Our offensive line could be super, super good. And Dak Prescott will just, run the ball, run the football, play good defense, play Cooper Rush style ball. Instead of trying to thread the needle in between two defenders on a 2nd and 2, whenever you got you're playing 5 wide and you got a 7-yard lane and you can take off up the middle. I still don't know why Dak didn't do that and why he chose to throw the freaking football. Inside the Niners red zone, tied at 6. Makes no sense at all. So for our offensive line, we get it back to 2016, 2014-ish. Then our running game should be able to be good all year, not fall off at the end of the year, but be good all year and into the playoffs. Be able to lean on the run in the playoffs. And with that other big receiver, Dak will have, more options to throw to. I know he only had CeeDee Lamb last year. Gallup was a shell of himself. T.Y. Hilton is just an old guy. And he had Noah Brown. Dalton Schultz was hurt off and on. That was his, kind of favorite target besides Lamb, like Witten was to Romo. Schultz was to Dak. Our young tight ends are good. I don't think we have to draft a tight end high or sign a big name tight end. We can draft a tight end in the 4th round. Have Ferguson hit a shot in a 4th round rookie and be fine. I think Jake Ferguson is the next Jason Kelsey. I mean, you saw him hurdle a guy last year. He's athletic as hell. He can block, catch. Hand a shot is good. And our rival nemesis in the division so far, early in the offseason, so far, they re-signed Bradbury to a 3-year deal, but they have lost 4 defensive starters that they had last year. Javon Hargrave went to San Fran. Today they outright released Darius Slay. Their best linebacker, T.J. Edwards, went to Chicago. And Marcus Epps went to the Raiders, I believe. And Miles Sanders said deuce today. And they signed that running back that played for Seattle, Carson. Hell, I forgot his name. But they signed a running back today that is not near as good as Miles Sanders. And they re-signed Boston Scott. But they've lost 4 big starters that played on their defense last year. And they're starting running back Miles Sanders. The Eagles will bleed this offseason. That's why those first 2 picks in the first round they have are very important. We know they're going to pick a top end corner with their first pick. Their highest first pick. In the mock drafts, it has them picking 2 corners in the first round, Joey Porter and Christian Gonzalez. Now that Slay is gone, they'll probably just draft maybe Joey Porter if he's there at their top pick. And at their later pick in the first round, I don't know, probably just best player available or a safety. Because if they lose Gardner Johnson, which I hear they might lose C.J. Gardner Johnson, that'll be losing their top corner of last year and their top 2 safeties of last year, their top defensive tackle and top linebacker. So maybe with their second first-round pick, they draft a linebacker in the first round because Nakobe Dean was very unimpressive last year. We will take the division back this season. I guarantee you that. Everything I guaranteed last offseason came to fruition. Everybody said I was just being a homer and I wasn't being realistic. But I read between the lines. We didn't make any moves. We signed Dante Fowler and we signed James Washington and we traded Cooper. We lost Gregory. We released Lyle Collins. Everybody said I was delusional for saying that we're going to win at least 12 games minimum. And after week 1, on my comment section, they were really getting after me. I said, just watch. This defense is very good. They're going to come around Cooper Rush. And we went 4-1 in that stretch. And we won 12 games, like I said we would. Won a road game in the playoffs, which we haven't done since '92 at Candlestick. And was a Tony Pollard injury away from beating San Fran. If you don't get injured, I believe that we beat San Fran, because we probably don't go 5 wide on that 2nd and 2 right after the injury. We probably run the football, get the first down, score, and go into halftime up 13-6. But that's ancient history. This season, NFC is so wide open. Philly will still be good, like I said, but they won't be near as good as last year. They will not be a 14-win team, because they signed everybody and their mama last year. Now it's time to pay the piper. They got close, but they didn't get the ring. San Fran will be tough. Tampa Bay, no longer that threat. Green Bay, no longer that threat. Minnesota won't be as good as last year, I don't believe. The Giants are getting Darren Waller. They made it to the 2nd round. They'll be a team to watch. But Dak owns the Giants. I don't care if they got Darren Waller. They had Evan Ingram at one point, who's thriving in Jacksonville now. They still don't have any receivers. I believe, unless we just have an injury-riddled season, that if Jerry keeps doing what he's doing, because he knows how close we are, and we solidify that line, get the left guard, get the receiver, and the defensive tackle, and every blemish that we had, we address, which we are doing now, that we will win our conference. We'll win our division, we'll be the number 1 seed, and then all we got to do is just win that one home playoff game to get to the conference championship. And if we can get that, guarantee you, we'll get to the conference championship, and we will get to wherever the Super Bowl is going to be played next year. Last year it was in Arizona, and I was really wanting to get there last year, because last time we won the Super Bowl was in Arizona in '95. So wherever it's at this year will be our new Super Bowl destination. And this is not just every year Cowboy Super Bowl talk. This has actual substance to it. We'll re-sign Zeke. He'll come back at a low cap hit. Just like Law said, when we released DeMarco Murray, we had those 2, scat backs. Couldn't pass block for crap. And week 2, we're 2-0. We got Philly on the ropes. Jordan Hicks comes in on the blitz. And our running backs can't pick him up. And Romo breaks his collarbone. And the season with such big expectations ends after week 2. We lose 6 in a row after that. So, right now, Cowboy stock is rising. Philly stock is dropping. And they still got to pay Hurts. And I'm hearing it's going to be over $50 million. I don't know. We'll see. I'll be very surprised if Hurts doesn't want his contract this year and waits to get it next year. Because you never know. You could break a leg. A la Dak Prescott. I'd be very surprised if they don't give Hurts his deal this offseason. But so far, right now, guys, we should be thrilled with what we're doing, because it is opposite of what we did last season. Last offseason was a lot of addition by subtraction. This offseason is a lot of addition by addition, by reworking deals, re-signing our own guys who are very good, and making a badass trade. We got Gilmore for nothing. Really, a 5th round. I mean, I think the Colts knew that they weren't going anywhere soon. And they wanted to give Gilmore a chance to get one more ring. And so they traded him to a contender. I mean, why keep him there when you know you're rebuilding, completely rebuilding? He's getting older. Let him go somewhere where he can get a ring. You know, that's just giving the guy respect. And, remember last year when we beat the Colts, how Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs were fighting over, the jersey swap. He said that he would do it with Parsons, and Diggs was messing with him. And Micah Parsons was like, "Hey, bro, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing, bro? You're supposed to do it with me." So him and Micah did the jersey swap. So the defensive locker room is going to welcome Gilmore with open arms. I think we have the best set of safeties in the league. That we re-signed the Hitman Wilson. And we got the best trio of corners. And they all got ball skills. Y'all saw Deron Bland intercept balls last year. Gilmore can intercept balls, especially if he's being targeted. We all know Diggs can. We led the league in takeaways 2 straight years. Don't be surprised if we do it a third year. Man, guys, we are on the cusp. Please subscribe, like, and share. Why do I forget to say that in the beginning of the video? My Lord, that's why I'm doing this. If you're watching this video and you made it to 26 minutes, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, like, and share, guys. That red subscribe button is free. My first goal is to get to 1,000. When I get to 1,000, I'll start doing live shows. I'll be able to start getting some money in to invest into a microphone, a little studio, and it'll be legit. My live shows will be live, if you know what I mean. You will be entertained. I'll have a call-in line just like Law Nation does. I love calling in on his show. So when he's not live entertaining you, I will be. And you will be entertained, I guarantee you. And once a month, I'll have a Zoom-in line so y'all can call in, Zoom in, agree with me, disagree with me, or we can just chop it up about the passion we share, the story, the blue and silver blood that we all collectively bleed, Cowboy Nation. Please subscribe, guys. And if you subscribed, share my video with your friends who bleed blue. Get them to subscribe, guys. So help me get to, I would like to get to 1,000 by week 1 of this 2023 season. I'm at 251 right now. I need 749 more. And that can happen real quick if everybody comes together and hits that subscribe button. So please, please do that. I implore you. Other than that, we are killing it right now so far in the offseason. And just can't wait for the draft, baby. You know how well we draft. Shoot, man, we had 4 or 5 rookies make impact last year. Wait till we see what Will Clayton has up his sleeve this draft. Really want that guard in the first round. After that, they can do what they want. I know it's going to be good. Keep God first and foremost. He goes before everything, even this. Seek him in his righteousness, and everything that you need and want, if it's in his will fall into place. I'm a living testimony of that, guys. Be safe and sound, and I'll catch y'all very, very soon. How about them Cowboys? 2023 is our year, and Charles in Charge is out. Please subscribe. I'll see y'all soon. Deuce.